Barak, Yahweh, Alam, Shalom, righteous family. Welcome back to True Talk. The Iran War, is it a holy war or unholy war? What I'm talking about? Well, according to the media, the narrative that's been pushing, America gotta go over there and help Iran people, cause Iran people are hungry. They being oppressed, taken advantage of. Uh, the women's are being oppressed, and not only that, but Iran is a very hostile government that hate America, and they developing nukes. And if they get their hands on nukes, they're gonna bomb America. Well, me and you and everybody that we love that, so we can't allow that. So it's only fair and right for America to go over there and bomb these people that they trying to help fret free and kill their government and put things back in order. But before we continue to talk about how America is helping Iran and how terrible and bad Iran is and how this war must take place, this is a holy war because Iran is Islam and this is like the most high against Islam to destroy Islam and the terrorism and all this. Before we get to that in the Bible prophecy and why this a holy war, let's just seek out understanding and wisdom. The scriptures say the scripture says that there's nothing hidden that won't be revealed. And it says that it's a glory to the Most High to hide a matter. I think that's Proverbs 25:3. It's a glory for the Most High to hide a matter and for the king to search it out. And how do we search out these matters? The scriptures tell us knock, seek, ask. Ask, it shall be given. Ask the Most High for understanding, wisdom, how and where to get the answers. Then knock. Knock on these doors and they'll be open. And seek and we will find. And what have we found here?
If you go back to 9/11 and when Wesley Clark said we're gonna invade 7 countries in 5 years, what you were talking about were the countries where those central banks were not on board to do programmable money. And their governance structures were not on board with essentially, because of Epstein, I'll call it the Rockefeller Rothschild model. And I think one of the reasons we're seeing so much tension around Iran is because Iran right now is the big leakage in the system.
It's not about their nukes?
No. Iran said,
He said, it's not about their nukes. She said no and kept talking. Like, nah, that's silly. It's never about their nukes. But let's continue to knock and search.
And sits in a strategic location between Asia, the Middle East, and major shipping routes. Since the Iranian Revolution in 1979, Iran has often resisted integration into the Western-dominated financial system. So that's the real issue. It has also challenged the dominance of the U.S. dollar and global oil trading at various points. That's the real issue.
As I'd been through the Pentagon right after 9/11, about 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who used to work for me. And one of the generals called me in. He said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." I said, "Well, you're too busy." He said, No. He says, "We've made the decision. We're going to war with Iraq." This was on or about the 20th of September. I said, "We're going to war with Iraq. Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." So I said, "Well, did they find some information connecting Saddam to Al-Qaeda?" He said, No. He says there's nothing new that way. They just made the decision to go to war with Iraq. He said, I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we got a good military and we can take down governments. And he said, I guess if the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem has to look like a nail. So I came back to see him a few weeks later. And by that time, we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, are we still going to war with Iraq? And he said, oh, it's worse than that. He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today. And he said, this is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran. This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out in here, starting with Iraq.
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people.
And Syria.
We had a chance to talk about a wide range of international issues, including the situation in Syria. And I have to say that all of us who've been seeing the terrible pictures coming out of Syria and Homs recently recognize it is absolutely imperative for the international community to rally and send a clear message to President Assad that it is time for a transition. It is time for that regime to move on. And it is time to stop the killing of Syrian citizens by their own government.
Lebanon.
They both had different reasons, the State Department and the White House, for wanting Israel to do it, encouraging them to do it, supporting them. Our Air Force worked very closely with the Israeli Air Force for months before this, not necessarily with a deadline, knowing when it would happen. It was always going to be whenever there was an incident, they would take advantage of an incident. The word I used was fortunate timing. When the Hezbollah grabbed some of the Israeli soldiers in early July, that was then a pretext. I think that's the only word for a major offensive that had been in the works a long time.
Libya.
Today, we can definitively say that the Gaddafi regime has come to an end. The last major regime strongholds have fallen. The new government is consolidating the control over the country. And one of the world's longest-serving dictators is no more.
The Somali.
Well, violence isn't only on the rise in Afghanistan. In fact, it looks like America's shadow wars have now increased by 1. Drone strikes have long been reported in Pakistan and Yemen, but now there's news that a week ago, a U.S. drone aircraft fired on 2 leaders of the Somalian organization Al-Shabaab.
President Obama is sending 100 combat-equipped troops to Central Africa to advise of one of the continent's most vicious operatives, Joseph Kony, the head of the Lord's Resistance Army, a group responsible for atrocities across the region. It's the first open deployment of U.S. ground combat power to Africa since the Black Hawk Down incident in Somalia in the 1990s. That killed 18 troops. U.S. troops may wind up now in Uganda, South Sudan, the Central African Republic, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's part of a growing military effort to engage in Africa.
Finishing off Iran.
Now that was 25 years ago that they decided they was going to take out these 7 countries. And they said the last one's going to be Iran. And every last one of those countries we went to war with. And the narrative was always, oh, they got nukes, they mistreat their people, they're a threat to us. Why are we still buying it? Here we are, and we are getting played. Democrat, Republicans, don't y'all get it? No matter who in office, their plan is going to be played out because this is the same system. Think about it. This thing is run by only a few people. This thing is net tight. The people that's been senator for years, they pick who's going to be there. They know who's coming up. This is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship that look like a democracy. It's a delusion. So while y'all fight Republicans got this values and Democrats got this values, you being duped. You're being fooled. It's called divide and conquer. Let them not be friends with their neighbor over politics. When every day of the week, these people work with each other, Democrats and Republicans. They take pictures with each other. They go to each other's houses. Before Donald Trump run for president, uh, who that was, him and Hillary, was having emails and talking like these people are all friends. But when they get in competition, they act like they're against each other. And they got the American people so much in a chokehold that they really buying into this illusion. That's why people that really related with the movie Matrix, like I didn't understand the big deal at first. I was like, okay, it's an okay movie, but why people making a big deal out of it? But when you finally wake up and you realize, oh, the Matrix is when they got you living into a reality. They got you plugged up and thinking this is how you living and this is what it is. And behind the scenes, it's something totally different. Most people are still in the Matrix. They comfortable with being in the Matrix. They comfortable with think they some type of uh, visionary by voting Republican and think that they doing best for the country and they a patriot and all that is just BS. The people high up don't care nothing about your patriotism. They don't care nothing about the America flag. They care about money and being wicked and dominating this earth. They don't care about America flag. They want all the earth. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like people really, oh, the flag can't touch the ground, and people actually cry when they stand up and salute the flag. Why? Because they in the matrix. That's how deep there is. While the people high up don't give a damn about the flag of country. They care about doing what they want and running the world and keep you emotional involved with this foolishness. Now, what do you think? Do you think this a holy war? Do you think that America's going to save the Iran people because the Iran people are in trouble? Do you not know that one third of the world is sanctioned by America? Meaning America is stopping medicine and food and gas and oil to come in for those countries to profit, making their people die and starve and hungry. And they don't care. They sleep good at night. Obama was one of those presidents that had the most wars. While we was sleeping, celebrating, and all these things, he was just bombing country after country. And this how they get you. So no, this ain't a holy war. Even though there is good and evil always being fought. The only thing I can say is what the Most High already told us. Come out of her, my people. Come out of religion. Come out of the system, politics, uh, all of it. Come out the world understanding. Come out the world uh, whole ideology of how they want us to think and feel. Come out of it and recognize things for what the Most High says. Come out of her, my people. Lest you be partaker with her in the players that she gonna get. So one more time, I ask you: is this a holy war or unholy war? Is America going over there to save the Iran people because the Iran people got nukes and it's best that we don't let them get nukes? Just like Villain Resta had drugs and we took their president. Who the bad guy here? Iran is not going into people countries and stealing their president. But when Trump do that, people cheer for him. You hypocrites. But as always, let Yah be true and every man a lie. Till next time, Shalom.